channel. I'm Sarius, I'm very glad that you're here today. As you noticed, we've just started our descent towards Santorini, and I've already programmed in the arrival route and also the arrival or the approach as well. Today in Santorini we have a northerly wind with 22 degrees and a QNH of 1 to 2. First of all, we have to set this in the FMC so they can work with it. QNH is a 1022, temperature 23 degrees Celsius, and the wind is 010 with 16 knots. Furthermore, the minimum descent altitude today will be 1,700 feet. And we're doing a flaps full approach today. As you can see here, we are going to arrive via the Paxan 1 Alpha arrival direct to Santorini VUR. From the Santorini VUR, we will need the approach plate for the VUR Alpha approach. You can see it here. VUR Alpha approach is from Santorini for Cat Charlie and Delta. We are Cat Charlie. We have to depart the Santorini VUR DME on a heading of a course of 117 radial 117 until 8 DME, and then turn right for the final track 324. Normally we can input this approach into the FMC. Unfortunately, I think I've tried it out. There is something wrong with the database here, because I have only the VUR 34 left alpha available or 34 right alpha, and that doesn't work out for me that much. However, I put in the VUR 34 left alpha then, but I will continue with this. So discontinuity, we can clear that out and just check out the altitude. Flight level 70 will be overhead Santorini. That will be a little bit high, so I want to be there at 4,000 feet overhead Santorini, so I just simply override the altitude restriction of 3,500 feet or more than 3,500 feet and just put in 4,000 feet. Insert this, and now the descent path should be updated. Yep, it is. So we accelerate a little bit more to have more drag to have a steeper descent angle. As we are doing an VUR approach, you will have to put in the VUR frequencies. So we need the Santorini VUR frequency of 110.4. On the left, 110.4 on the left hand side, and also on the right hand side, because on the left hand side we will track the inbound course of 324, so the final approach course, and on the number 2 VUR we will track the outbound radial, so it's the 117, this one here. So as we are approaching towards Santorini, overhead Santorini, we will leave Santorini on a radial of 117 until 8 DME, then turning right to intercept the radial, the final approach course of 324 of Santorini VUR. Overhead Santorini we want to be 4,000 feet, and then descending 3,000 feet to 8 DME Santorini. And then on Foxtrot 324, so the final approach fix in this point, so again 8 DME outbound or inbound Santorini in this case, we will start our descent towards the minimum descent altitude. If we have the field at sight, we can continue further at the end. So we need a vertical visibility, not a vertical visibility, runway visibility of 2,400 meters or more. We have, according to meter, we have the visibility is 10 kilometers or more, so it's fine. Just let me get out the airport chart, the normal airport chart. So we have 2,200 meters available. That will make auto bake 2 landing. We will vacate around roughly, I think, via Charlie, and then taxi to one of the stands there. The transition level is by ATC normally. The FMC has decided to put the transition level as same as the transition altitude. I will put it 1,000 feet above to have the sufficient transition layer in between. So I think we need to get a little bit of the speed brakes down out, because we are roughly 2,000 feet above, so we can get it full out. We'll put these fasten seatbelt signs on. And can continue with the approach procedure. There's nothing much more to do now, so just for our briefing, in case of missed approach, we climb on radial 324 to 2,500 feet, then turn right to VUR, climb in 3,500 and hold. So once we are established or turning right, once we're leaving the 117 radial, we will have to set the... just missed that one, so we're descending flight level 60 now. Once we are established or leaving the outbound radial 117, we will have to put on VOR2 the outbound radial 324 for our missed approach. So basically we don't, it's the same as inbound, so we just leave it there on the number 1 radial, number 1 VOR. So we can turn on our landing lights as we are approaching, making a quick call. Santorini traffic, Seabase 280 Tango, inbound Santo, question inbound Pexan for the VOR Alpha approach, runway 34, Santorini traffic. So we are back on the descent path, so we can retract our feedback spoilers. Yep. Should be here. Yep, we should be here on the chart again. The minimum safe altitude is 3,500 feet. However, this won't be affected because we're just descending to flight level 60 at the moment, and then 4,000 feet overhead the Santorini VOR, so this shouldn't be a problem at all. So right in front, that's the island of Santorini. We're looking a little bit closer. On the left hand side there is the airport strip. So here's everything set up. So approach briefing, I've already done that beforehand. That's a little bit more because of the very specific approach and the terrain awareness around the airport. So I've done that in advance, so we can descend to 4,000 feet and also set our QNH to 1022. And we can start the approach checklist, the ECAM status. It's checked. Approach briefing is confirmed. Minima 1700, 170 ist gesetzt. Da hat sich ein Fehler eingeschlichen. Mal schauen. Ja, 1700 feet is set. Approach phase. Die können wir eigentlich auch aktivieren. Wir gehen dann auf Manual Speed. Activated. Already seen the vertical deviation bar now, so the approach is managed or can be managed and totally be flown by the FMC. The nav aids or radial nav page with the VOR set up is only for guidance or for backup reasons in this case. So we are approaching Santorini and we can reduce speed to 220 knots. Green dot speed, so we can speed managed. And I will close the window here because it's a little bit in my view of sight, field of view, this way around. So temperature, total air temperature is 20 degrees, so we don't need any anti-ice when we're breaking through these clouds. So we can descend, we will maintain 4,000 feet for the moment for the level of, other way around, I will set 3,500 feet, we won't descend below 4,000 feet because of the altitude restriction we put in, but to continue the descent afterwards I've already set a lower altitude. Minimum altitude is at the moment 3,500 feet. Just break through the clouds. Then we can descend to 3,000 feet. Now we have the descent opened and minimum plane speed, so speed is managed, altitude managed and enough. Santorini traffic event 280 Tango, outbound Santorini, VOR for the VOR Alpha approach, runway for Santorini traffic. So we're waiting now for the 8 DME of Santorini VOR DME. So the speed is, nav mode is engaged, so we don't have to worry about the turn here, it's all managed by the FMC. But in case we need, there's a problem with the computer, we can always revert to the heading mode or to manual flight if necessary. Therefore, we've already set the frequencies of the VORs, or of the VOR with the regarding or appropriate causes. So if you look on the VOR2 or the ND2 in the first officer, you can see that we are perfectly aligned with the 117 radial of Santorini. So everything works out very well. So we have arrived at the 8 nautical miles. So the aircraft has calculated we need a little bit more of a turn. So it's going a little bit more straight at the moment, but it should turn in any time now. Yep. Now is the turning point reached. And it should descend to 3,000 feet. Not doing that, so I will do it manually with 1,000 feet per minute. And also we can set flaps 1, speed checked flaps 1. And as we are in speed manage mode, it's reducing the speed automatically to the S speed bug. So we can select final approach. Approach mode, that means we have approach nav, and once we've reached the vertical deviation bar again, we have all the final approach for the altitude. So final as well. On the right hand side you can already see the airport area. And we are now waiting for the intercept of the radial and waiting for the vertical guidance. And this is only a VOR approach. The vertical guidance is just it's not a position approach, it's not a position approach, and therefore the vertical guidance is just calculated by the computer itself. So there's no external guidance system that is giving us any information like in the with the ILS approach. So the vertical deviation bar has come in, we have final approach, and we can turn in 3,500 feet for our missed approach. As we are a little bit, as we are already on the glide path, we can select flaps 2 and get on. Can runway turn off lights, we can turn on, and also the taxi lights. Now the aircraft is decelerating towards the F-BAT speed. Already armed the speed brakes. Santorini traffic, Seabed 280 Tango on final approach runway 34. Santorini traffic. So there's the airport.
100 above.
Flaps 3. So you check flaps 3. We call the
Minimum.
flight attendant. Continue. We have got the runway at sight. Therefore we will disengage the autopilot. Flaps full. Speed check flaps full. disengage the auto thrust system and perform manual flight. Flight directors can turn off. Now we can fly a visual approach or the rest of the approach visually. We have to take particular caution about the terrain on our left hand side there, but at the moment everything looks very good. So final checklist, landing gear, question final checklist, auto brake medium and incremental landing no blue. Landing checklist completed. Getting a little bit slow, so we have to increase a little bit. A little bit high there. So wind 16 knots, more or less straight on the nose, a little bit from the right. No, on glide path again.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Spoilers, reverse thrust green, diesel. So idle reverse, so manual braking. And we can vacate via delta right in front of us. So 60 knots. And now I see what the problem is. X-Plan, it appears that the taxiway is not designated as another runway, so it was just a problem that X-Plane has thought that there are two runways, but in fact in reality there's only this runway, and the runway there is not there. Its existence anymore. So we vacated the runway so we can detect the flaps. Turn off the stop lights, start the APU. Turn off this. Apparently we are a little bit heavy, or it's getting a little bit... there's a little bit of slope here, so we are not taxiing forward as you can see. Yep, there's definitely a steep slope here. So we can taxi straight ahead and read the after landing checklist. After landing, exterior lights set, flaps 0, ground spoilers is armed, APU is start now, and the radar protective system is off, and TCAS standby now. After landing checklist completed. So let's have a look on the outside where we can go. I think I would just part straight ahead here. On the chart there are just straight gates shown, so I'll just park straight ahead here. Fortunately there are no parking stands here in the scenery, unfortunately. So just getting outside, have a bit better view. Now so we can stop right there. So setting parking brake, APU is available, so turn off the APU bleed. And you can shut down the engines. So shut down engine 1 and 2. Once the engines are spinning down, we can turn off the beacon, seatbelt signs, as well as the fuel pumps. So, and come on. not so much to do now. Basically, we can read the parking checklist, so parking brake is on, engines off, slides disarmed, beacon is off, seatbelts off, fuel pumps off, and transponder we can set it 1000 standby. Parking checklist completed. So, now the passengers are free to board and can depart here in Santorini. I hope you enjoyed the flight with me, and I'm very looking forward to some of our next videos. So the next video will be definitely the return flight from Santorini back to Heathrow, Gatwick, not to London Gatwick. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. I think it will be more like impressions with less commentary from my side. I think it's for me it's still a new thing to do videos and create some stuff. So feel free to leave some comments below, and yeah, see you next time, and until then, have a great time. Bye bye.